Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's FalconPaladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, it's going to be a 3v3 here on Augustine Falls, featuring FalconPaladin, Composer, and Barcode versus Festival, Gitsham, and Ramen. That's a good name, Ramen there. I like it. Alright, so Team South here is the purple Zerg player. It is FalconPaladin. We got ourselves an orange Terran player, Barcode, and then a Zerg player who is yellow. His name is Composer. Oh, sorry, Compomer. Wow, I misread that the whole time. Compomer. Sure. At the top side of the map, we have a teal Terran player whose name is Ramen. Got ourselves a Zerg player. It is Festival. And then right next door is another Zerg player. Fellow Zergs right next door to each other. It is Gitsham. Okay, so we've got ourselves two races represented here. A lot of Terran versus Zerg going on. And Augustine Falls usually ends after a rush, right? Super short rush distance. You have to wall off two places. But there are places you can expand safely as long as you protect your ramps. There are no Zelnaga watchtowers here. There are Overlord perches here, here, and here. And you can expand down the sides. And you have to scout for ninjas along the sides of the map here, because sometimes people try to take them. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Was that a... Yeah, there we go. Hatch first here. Out of Festival. No big deal. And me going 13-12. Interesting. Does Falcon usually go 13-12? I don't think he does. Anyway, I think same thing here from Gitsham. Going 16-18, 17. Nothing too crazy from him either. It's very strange for neither of the Zerg players on this team to go for a pool first play of any kind. But I got my Lings out across the map right now. I've got speed on the way. I'm going to try to expand here at 19 supply. It's going to be late. My expansion will be late compared to my Zerg teammates, or opponents rather. But they, we'll have some Lings up here to try to get some damage done sooner rather than later. So they're moving up across the map. The pool is done. Gitsham might have a couple Lings here ready to go. We'll see if that works out or not. And yeah, pulled workers off gas. Going to try to get my drone count up because obviously it's suffering based on my build. And I should have gone in. Hindsight is 20/20. Oh no, maybe I'm really worried about someone else already having Lings, but oh my gosh, I could have killed this queen. I'm totally bypassing the Zergs because I assume they'll have stuff. And then I go ahead and jump in here to Ramen's base and see what damage I can do with these early Lings here at about 2.5 minutes. So pretty good control here from Ramen. I gotta say, his APM on average, or currently, is about 200 or so. And he's doing a good job, pulling his workers, trying to make sure that I can't get a surround on them. And then some Lings show up from Festival. He makes a bunch, and the Queens wander over this way too. So my Lings are like, we are outnumbered. I see more Lings from Blue, and I'm like, well, that didn't go very well. I didn't get very much damage done whatsoever. That totally sucks. Baneling Nest coming in from Gitsham, because if you skip Baneling Nests in a ZVZ, you're going to have a bad time. Nothing here from Festival on the other side of the map. I'm getting my own Baneling Nest here because I recognize what's going on. Largely meching here. With Hellions, double factory after barracks for Barcode and the double gas happening on one base. Zerg player Compomer has none of those things. He takes a quick third. Oh, I didn't realize he did this. I did not realize he took a quick third base. Didn't get a Roach Warren or a Baneling Nest at all. He's got Lings to defend. At least there's that. But we have vision on this, right? We've got Overlords in those perching positions. We see what's going on. The Lings show up, and I'm like, oh, I've got 4 Zerglings right now because I've been trying to drone up. I'm at 28 drones, which is more workers than anybody has right now, but the Lings are a problem. Hellions showing up from Ramen. Hellions from Barcode fighting at the same time here. A bunch of Lings from Compomer do back up. Oh, there we go. The Hellions from Compomer. And we do hold that off. Good combination of Speedlings and Hellions. We're maybe going to go try for another attack here. Are there any Banelings for Team North? Absolutely not. None whatsoever. Drilling Claws coming in. I'm loving that. From the Barcode player, for sure. When there are 2 Zergs, having Widow Mines everywhere can really ruin their day. Can be really frustrating stuff. On the other end, it's a Liberator opening here from Ramen. The Lings are trying to get stuff done, and I'm like, if you told me you were going to counterattack like this, I definitely would have, as Hellbats are here from Barcode. I like that. That's pretty good stuff there. 5 kills, getting some damage done. If I had just Ling flooded, look at me. I'm like, I got Zerglings, hold up. Wait for me, but by the time I get there, it's too late, and it's very frustrating that if I'd showed up with a bunch of Lings about the same time that they did, I think that could have gone a lot better. We could have actually got some more economic damage done. But Spire on the way from Festival, working on... the Roach Warren is done from Getsham, and an expansion from Ramen here. So I'm making some Banelings. A little bit careless with their lings there. Team North, they've got their own Banelings out, and I tried... this is why I hate Ling Bane. I tried selecting one of my Zerglings to go up there, but didn't deselect the others, and... now we don't have nearly as much stuff as we did before, and they've got a ton of queens, and my Banelings are like, all right, ignore the queens. Bad pathing, though. I do get a bunch of lings there. Didn't get any drones, unfortunately. A Liberator shows up for Ramen, and I do almost kill it with my queen, but then I have to move my Spore up to try to deal with it. I pull my drones away a little bit later than I would have liked to. The response time was not perfect there, unfortunately, but that's what happens. I do want to mention I did get promoted to Masters recently in 3v3, so this is... all these players are pretty good. There's nobody here that doesn't know what they're doing, which is a big difference between Diamond 2 3v3 and Masters 3 3v3. Has been in my experience there. I'm finally getting a third base right now. Just now, Getsham getting his own third base, and there's no sign of a third from Festival. So, feeling okay about that. That my third base is a little bit late. It's been a pretty aggressive game early on, and so having a third base at this time is not too strange. I am getting additional spores. I'm worried about future Liberators, which turns out to make a lot of sense. There is a Battlecruiser finishing up from Ramen. All right, so BC is out. Oh, that got... Compomer somehow scouted that. And he jumps... where's that Battlecruiser jump? Ah, right into the main base of Compomer. He's got one queen and a spore here. He's got other queens out on the map. Not enough of them, unfortunately. His queen count is not super healthy. Mine is, but I'm in the worst position to help. Right? I've got the 5 queens here, but I need to get all the way across the map. So I'm like, well, you know what? We're just going to assume Barcode's going to help him because I can't walk over there in time to do anything, and I can't keep up with it off creep anyway. So Widowmines are coming out here from the Barcode player. This Battlecruiser, though, 10 kills already. Really just wrecking the count. Widowmines burrow in quickly because they have Drilling Claws. Big time hit there on the Battlecruiser. Doing some work, and a Cyclone should be able to finish it off, doing that bonus damage versus Armored and Chabao. Meanwhile, got ourselves a bit of a Zergling Mutalisk push with some Roach Baneling support here from Getsham. There's a tank really well positioned here. Widowmines, too, catching some good damage on Getsham's army, and he decides to back on out. He doesn't like that position. Mutas are here from Festival. There are no spores. Oh, there is a spore in Compomer's main, but not really in a position to protect these drones at all. Mutas, for some reason, going after other stuff, going after these spines. Not the greatest target firing there, unfortunately. But yeah, Compomer has 40 workers on that one base because he pulled them from his third base and his and from his natural, which not ideal in the long run here. So I'm like, all right, they are making stuff. Oh, also another Battlecruiser showed up in my main just now. You know, up to 3 kills already. Yeah, Queen gets Yamato down. My other queens are not coming to assist, but I'm worried about him coming over this way, so that makes sense. So my queens are fighting. The Widowmines don't get any shots off. The Cyclone gets some good damage done. I transfuse this queen once, and do manage to keep it alive. And the Spore that was here for Liberators initially does get a couple extra hits off and force it back a little bit. Meanwhile, Getsham getting clobbered on the other side. Festival walks some queens over here with his Mutalisks. When I first saw this, I was like, wait, what are the queens? Why are there red queens? What is happening? Nobody brings their queens across the map. But again, fairly short rush distance here. It makes a lot of sense. So Compomer eventually is punished for his quick third base, unfortunately. That's going to hurt us in the long run here as a team. But so far, I am just making roaches. I'm pumping roaches. I'm sitting here at about 40 workers, which seems like a good number for the 3 bases I'm on. And I'm just like, just go. Like, maybe you can kill a queen or 2. At the very least, you're preventing this army from getting up this ramp and into Yellow's base for just a tiny bit. The Widowmine's doing work. The Spine Crawler's doing some work. Compomer's got some of his own Mutalisks out. And we do clean out the queens. The anti-air here is Widowmines. It's just Widowmines for Barcode. He's doing something that really is annoying to play against, but can be less effective as well. Bam, Compomer has lost both his third base and his main base. He went Mutalisks. The roaches have speed. My roaches, unfortunately, do not have speed yet. I didn't start speed until it was just really too late here. But I'm chasing. I'm chasing as fast as my little baby roach legs will allow me to do, and all the roaches finally get cleaned up. Some Widowmines here to prevent further attacks from Battlecruisers. I haven't quite correctly saturated this natural base. Muta's trying to fly on in, but again, your anti-air when you're dealing with battle cruisers, liberators, and mutalisks is going to be pretty good. Like, the mutas aren't going to have the best time here. They do catch this queen that is trying to transfer up to this base. I think that's where she was going. And yeah, +1 flyer attack on the way from Compomer. More mutas all the time for Festival. Against this Widowmine composition can be pretty dangerous. My queens are trying to fight, but without any spore coverage, they're just not. It's not going to work out for them. In the end, it's just I need more spores is what I need. This spore getting some good damage off that muta actually survives with 3 HP, which is insane. The mutas from Compomer are killing overlords that are on this side of the map. And he flies over a spore here too a little bit. And a Widowmine. Couple Widowmine shots are massive, and he has to get out of there. He is injured. Tissue regeneration or no tissue regeneration. He is running for his mutalisk life right now. Oh, so after 10 minutes, there's a little bit of a lull. Although I did run some roaches across the map and tried to kill some stuff. Yeah, here we go. So this is where I am just trying to kill the roaches on the ground, trying to kill the queens so the mutalisks here for Compomer can do more work, but unfortunately there are more mutas here from Festival than we were expecting. So I'm just here taking damage from mutalisks the whole time, trying to kill a bunch of queens as much as I can. I didn't bring an Overseer along, and then suddenly a million Liberator circles arrive, and I'm like, I just got to get out of here. Let's just get on out, maybe kill a couple Hydralisks. Those could be lurkers later. That is going to be a big concern for these roaches for sure. And I just run. I'm trying to get as much damage economically done. Ooh, maybe I could have canceled the Evolution Chamber upgrades. I could have, yes, but that muta count is so high. Spinecrawler doing some work, and that's going to be it. Meanwhile, with the follow-up is Barcode coming in, burrowing his Widowmines just right in the middle of everything. Setting up his tanks in siege mode. It's such a weird setup. My roaches are coming in, trying to assist. I really worked hard at this game on always be making stuff. Maybe your micro on the other side of the map isn't going to be as good, but always be making roaches. Try not to float a huge bank here, and I'm at about 400 at the moment. So roaches get some drone kills. Right now, it looks like 43 workers for Gitsham. 63 for Festival is not bad, but this base is not mining at all. I don't know where those... Oh, the drones are hiding up here. Okay, I was like, where are those drones? Festival's got some random overlords heading over this way. Get supply blocked by just a handful of mutalisks out of Compomer. I sent some... See, this is what happened. I sent some roaches up and didn't work out. So I'm going to hang out, do some teamwork, right? Hang out teamwork here with Orange. The Widowmines and the tanks are going to be awesome against those dudes. I just need to protect the close-up range attacks that might come here from the roaches and hydras of Gitsham. So I'm pretty happily saturated here. Again, my gas saturation is off here at the third base a little bit, but it has been such a crazy game. I have additional spores up, so I think this is the point where Mutalisk Harass doesn't really bother me as much. Like they're trying to, but double spore is really hard to deal with. They did get that Overlord, which is annoying. Widowmines and spores really giving these guys some bad times for sure. Liberators largely, look at him just burrowing Widowmines under Liberators. I have never seen this before. I have never seen Widowmines being used to take out Liberators in my entire life in StarCraft 2. It's crazy. My roaches take out this fourth base attempt for Gitsham. Check to see there's not a fifth base over that way. That's fantastic news. My 1-1 is coming in a little bit late, but again, insane game thus far. I have my Overseers for Gitsham, rather. Oh, I have my own Overseer here, too. So we're clearing out creep this time around. We are just mashing along here. The Muta's coming in to assist from Compomer. All three of us are in the same location right now, which is really nice stuff. And, Widowmines firing on the Mutalisks for Festival, getting some damage done. My roaches continue to pour on in right now, and I do take down the third base as well of Gitsham. More roaches popping across here right now, 11 roaches at a time. The battle cruisers do arrive, and the Mutas and the Cyclones are going to have to do their best against these guys because my roaches are going to be no help whatsoever. But I will help keep the Cyclone alive as long as I can, keep these Widowmines alive as long as I can with the roaches, just holding down to the ground for the most part against these Zerg players. This is one of the more chaotic matches I've ever played in my entire life. Coming on into the third base of Festival as well. And just like, you know what? Mutalisks, do your worst. I have +1 armor. I assume you guys have flyer attack, but you're not going to kill roaches very quickly, especially when there are other mutas around. and Widow Mines around, and I do manage to snipe that base, and then I run up this round to see what I can do here as well, killing a bunch of the drones here for Festival as he's trying to get them away. They do not make it at all. And this is where the support of Widow Mines could be pretty good. Also, Muta's coming in as well. This is just the teamwork. This is teamwork. These are players I've never played with before. I don't recognize their names whatsoever, and Festival taps out. So Festival's like, my Mutalisks continue to get wrecked by these Widow Mines. I should not have chosen Mutas here. It's one thing in a 1v1 where you can kind of fly around carefully and see where the Widow Mines are. But man, in 3v3 chaos, where you're trying to deal with enemy roaches and enemy Mutalisks, and it's so hard to spot for Widow Mines when you're a Mutalisk player. It's crazy. Meanwhile, Ramen shows up over here, completely lays siege to my third base. Ramen's at 162 supply, which is nuts. He's on 4 bases. He really hasn't been bothered today at all. We've really been trying to kill the Zerg players, which maybe makes a lot of sense. Battlecruisers jumping onto Ramen's production. Liberators coming in here too. Unfortunately, can't do anything about the production itself, but can kill SCVs and can kill buildings that come out of these production facilities. So we're just making sure that Gitchum is done. Has Gitchum left? I don't know if they said Gitchum was done here at this point either. He should be at this stage. Gitchum has nothing. He's got 12 Overlords, so he's probably left. The problem is, Ramen has this big Liberator battlecruiser army that's really scary. The Mutas from Compomer coming in, just trying to focus down the Liberators. They do go into anti-air mode, and the splash damage is pretty effective stuff. Battlecruisers, Yamatoing individual Mutalisks here. And I'm just trying to make sure that the income that Festival is getting is not going towards Ramen at this stage. Look at the Widow Mines taking out battlecruisers, man. Widow Mine, good unit. Festival did expand over here, but it's not really helping him at all. Ramen has this base, which I don't think we were aware of at all. Not even close. The battlecruisers coming back home are just defensive guys. Yeah, this income right here, even though the Festival is gone, it is still helping Ramen continue to punt 4 battlecruisers and 2 Liberators at a time on his really, really nice income compared to what everybody else is rolling with. Actually, somehow Compomer's doing all right. Compomer did manage to get a 4th base up, which is awesome stuff. Yeah, so Festival is done. No more income from the Zerg players. Festival is done all by his lonesome here. My roaches are just trying to kill as much of his economy as possible. He was over 70 workers, maybe even 80 workers there. Knock him down to 58, which is a more reasonable number for sure. Got Mutalisks and Widow Mines. The combination of the today going after Ramen's natural. The Mutas are trying to take it down. The Widow Mines are trying to fire on those Liberators. Such good stuff. The Mutas... Oh, okay, they're trying to chase down the Liberators. These roaches are kind of wandering through a war zone. I wonder if they would have done better. Yeah, there you go. Go after add-ons, guys. Oh, hang on. Maybe don't attack the planetary all by your lonesome, yo. Yeah, my roaches are just, running around, keeping the battlecruisers at home, which is really nice. And Barco's got his third base up and running with additional gas here too. The Widow Mine just continuing to fire. Ramen does not have a Raven, which seems like a problem. Oh, that Mutaflock is bad times for sure. He's still making Mutalisks. I feel like Barcode should be going into Corruptors at this point. I'm just trying to get my economy up and running here. I've been on about 50 workers for some time, so I'm making 10 drones at a time. Just enough to kind of flesh out the missing spots here. And I do have a 4th base over on the right side. Again, expanding over here, harder for enemies to find them, as it turns out. So Ling's trying to see if they can knock out this base, and they can. Again, I don't think we didn't know about this at all. You really have to scout those side bases on this map. You really do. You're gonna regret it if you don't. Nothing but battlecruisers from Ramen, which honestly, considering his opponents are making roaches, Mutalisks, and like Widow Mines, not a bad idea. 7 Corruptors now on the way from Compomer, and Thor production has begun from Barcode. I'm getting my own Spire because I'm like, look, this guy has a lot more supply than we do at the moment. So tell you what, let's get our economy up and running. Let's get that additional gas coming in. Let's maybe expand a couple more times. And maybe get a huge Corruptor Ball up to deal with these battle cruisers, who, by the way, do have +2 armor and +1 attack. Working on +2 attack here. Just Yamato down that Thor. My drones just try to run for their lives at this point because there's no way they're handling this many VCs at all. The Corruptor Ball, like, okay, this is pretty good. This is really good, and it's enough to make most of the battlecruisers get out of there. One of them could not. So my spire is done. I'm sitting on about 500 minerals and 2,500 gas. So I'm like, okay, I just need mineral income right now. So let's go ahead and harvest some minerals from all of our bases as much as we can here. Again, trying to balance out the mineral count on each of your bases at the same time is a bit of a trick. Ling's going after supply depots of Rom. I'm trying to supply block him, but I don't know. He's got a lot of supply depots and bases everywhere, and the Corruptor's taking a lot of Yamatos, plus the repair on this side of the map is a little problematic. So Compomer decides to back on out. He doesn't like what he sees with the repair. It makes the battle cruisers a lot better. He didn't have the ground army to take care of those dudes, so he did back out. And is he making? He's making Festival Mine over here. That's pretty good stuff. Not bad out of Roman. APM check. 439 average out of Compomer. Holy smokes. Everybody else around 200 or so. I'm at 155 in this game. Which, not bad for me, honestly. I'm not just flooding Lings here either, which is nice. Ramen expanding again on this left side. We just don't have the vision. Like, I'm taking these bases, and I'm like, huh, they're dumb for not taking these bases over on the left side. Ha ha ha. But instead, I am the dumb one. How embarrassing. I didn't... The blindness, really. Neuroparasite coming in. I'm finally making Corruptors, which is just inspiring stuff, man. 7 Corruptors finally coming in. I don't like Corruptors because they're only good for certain things, but you know what? If the certain thing is what is killing you, then you gotta make the Corruptors, man. 9 Corruptors at a time now. Ramen's maxed out with a big, 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 scary Corruptor ball. I'm coming in with a few Corruptors. I don't like what I see. So the Thors. Oh, the Widow Mines, though. Oh, they're the MVPs. I forgot those Widow Mines were there. I was like, the Thors are going to start doing some damage, and my Corruptors are going to do some damage, and the Corruptor ball over here from Compomer. Where on earth is the Corrupt? Oh, it's over here for some reason. We can deal with these battle cruisers, but then it's the... Where are they? Oh, they just wander over. He's so busy worrying about the orbital and worrying about these Corruptors. I don't think he even saw these. Look at this. Oh my gosh, that is brutal. So maybe the next time in your TVT where your opponent goes mass battle cruiser, maybe you make a whole bunch of Widow Mines. How many? Okay, real quick. We're going to watch that again. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That was 9 battle cruisers. Effectively one-shot. Okay, that one. 8. 8 battle cruisers. Effectively one-shot by Widow Mines. Okay, yes, there were some Corruptors here. Yes, there were some Thors here, but holy smokes. That was brutal. Resources lost there. 32,000 from Ramen, which most of that, I think, was the 8 battle cruisers that died all at once just a second ago. I lost 21,000 resources. 23,000 from Compomer. Yeah, that was a match. That was super duper intense. Just, man, roach pressure and then eventually Corruptors. That's how we did it. There were transitions along the way. So pretty darn fun 3v3. I was hyped. I was hyped at the end of that one, I can tell you this much. 70 Mutalisks died from Compomer. He is not on my list of players that take care of Mutalisks, that's for sure. I ended up losing, where am I? 163 roaches, 26 drones. Everybody lost workers in this game, though. I mean, nobody lost fewer than that. I think I lost the fewest number of workers. Nope, 23 from Compomer. But yeah, 23 is the lowest number of workers killed in this game, which is nuts. Just nonstop action. Nonstop action. There was no turtling up. It was my early rush, and then their counterattack, and then our counterattack, and then their roach mutalisk thing, and then into the Widow Mines, and then battle cruisers started arriving, and then the Zerg players died to continuous roach, weird mech, mutalisk pressure, and again, that's a huge part of the deal, right? A massive part of the deal here is, good heavens, like another, just teamwork, right? Teamwork wins team games. That's it. That is it. That is the trick to winning team games, is just teamwork. And that's going to be it for me. So this has been FalconPaladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a crazy 3v3 here on Augustine Falls, the latter edition. Thank you so much for watching. This has been FalconPaladin coming at you. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.